Hey guys, how you guys doing? Hope everybody's doing good today. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully we can end it on a good note here for you and just get you some information and probably go over and hang out with Mark a little bit after this stream. A lot of you guys are probably over there. I meant to go live a little while ago, about an hour ago, and I just couldn't get it set up in time. But so hi to everybody that's in there. Mods, thank you for being here. I appreciate your help. Hey Sparky, Barbara, Linda, Hummingbird, you guys are in here, and I mean, like, quick, like, it's cool. Appreciate it. Carol and Bruce, Mighty Mark, 2Tim, Little Too Spicy, Indigo, Nickel, Bruce, 513. Hey, what's up? Good thing I don't say 187. Anyway, guys, hey Muse, what's up? Robert, Carolyn. Hey, there was a question. Hey, Body and Soul. There was a question here I was seeing already that I'm going to go ahead and talk about just for a second because it actually has some truth to it. Okay, this actually does happen, guys, and let me explain why. Judith here says, have you ever heard of anyone that can feel the electricity in the air when this is happening and getting shocked constantly? Well, let me tell you something about that. There's something called surface charging when you're talking about satellites and things. So stuff can hold a charge. So when we're talking about geomagnetic activity, it is adding electricity to our system. It's adding charged particles. So people that are very sensitive may feel stuff like that. That is a known phenomenon. They've done a lot of studies and stuff on it, and it does happen. Now, as far as actually shocking things and stuff like that, a lot of that, especially this time of year, you have to consider the dryness of the air and static electricity, just natural buildup. But it does make it easier when we are getting geomagnetic activity. Okay? Yeah, electromagnetic capacitor. That's almost exactly what the Earth is. It's a big magnet, guys. You got north-south, just like you got positive-negative. That's what that is. And everything is about that. That's what things do. That's how they operate. So anyway, we do have quite a bit to get into and go over tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it and let you guys hang out and check it out here. But I want to say thanks first and foremost, guys, to everybody that has donated to me lately. Listen, I can't tell you how humbled I am that you guys would even care to do something like that and to ask to do it before I did it. That's even more special to me. I consider you guys more friends than anything. This channel has given me way more than I could give back. I promise you. It's got me through some pretty dark times. It's brought me out of some depressions before. Just the fact of having something to do. This has really done that for me. And I couldn't have kept doing it without you guys being here. I mean, I could, but I probably wouldn't have. That's what I'm saying. But I do appreciate you guys, and with that being said, I just I don't like doing this. I'm gonna do this real quick. It makes me really uncomfortable when I do stuff like this because I don't want people to think that this is why I'm doing any of this. But here's my PayPal link. Okay, if you guys wanna, you can. I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna quit talking about it. I really would have, I appreciate all that stuff. Anybody that caught my stream this morning, I had poopy water all over my basement floor. First thing this morning, it was pretty sucky, let me tell you. Ended up having to pay some, local plumbing company come out and, on the weekend, you guys know what that's like. That's, like double charge. But it needed done, it got fixed, and it's all good. And I have to say, no sooner than I even mentioned that, I have to say, to Jill Hill, she's here in the chat probably somewhere. If not, hopefully she'll watch this and hear me. Thank you so much. As soon as I did that, as soon as I even said anything, I talked about it for like 2 seconds just to let everybody know why I was even on stream. And she sent me an email and she donated already. I mean, just like immediately. I wasn't asking for that. She just did that. So that's the kind of people we're dealing with here, guys. You guys are good people. There's a lot more good people in this world than there is bad, and it is awesome. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and do this again one more time here, and then we'll quit talking about that. So, let's talk about what we're here for, right? Human resonance. We got... Actually, I'm going to hide the chat, guys, okay? And then I'll thank you, Body and Soul. Angelo, Boogie Down Bronx, in the house. I'm going to put the chat away, guys. Mods, please take care of that for me, if you could. You know, I'll check in on you here in a minute, guys. But human's not really doing much right now, guys. It's even with all the solar weather, a lot of times it will affect the human. And when it affects the human, you got to understand, this doesn't react unless the frequency's reacting. The frequency's changing in intensity and in hertz level, okay? That's what we're looking at here. So the sun can cause that, but if the earth is doing its job really, really well in deflecting things, it's not going to affect this as much. And, you know, maybe that's what's going on here. I haven't seen a whole lot of bad stuff being talked about during this geomagnetic storm that we're in. So, you know, we're seeing auroras and things like that, and earthquakes are happening. But the majority of that, guys, that comes from the energy that comes in on the poles, not an overall frequency change, okay? So, when that happens, you know, earthquake risks go up and all the above that we talk about. But, I want you guys to look at this, okay? G1 storm. Alright, and it's a really, really minimal storm. Now, earlier I got on here, and it was saying that they expected us to be in storm level again. This box was yellow. They may have pushed it back some. Who knows? I think, and I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute, unless some of the data has changed, that we may end up going back up into storm level. Because we got a couple CMEs that are coming at us. One of them, both of them are going to hit, at least from what I'm seeing on the data. But the X-rays, that comes from sunspots and solar flares. Okay, that energy is here and gone in 8 minutes. Okay, it leaves the sun, it's here in 8 minutes, and it's gone. The initial flare, that's the X-ray. Now the stuff behind it, a lot of times there's a CME involved with it. A lot of times both of them happen at the same time from the same spot, okay? The flare either causes the CME or the CME starting getting ready to erupt might cause a flare. There's, you know, that can happen. It happens a lot with the bigger ones. So that's the energy that we're looking at when we're looking at geomagnetic activity. The CME behind the flare is really the biggest danger we got. You know, again, yes, the X-rays can blast us. Okay, that's radiation. But again, you know, the Earth does a pretty decent job. But the main power that we're really looking for to cause the stuff with power outages and things come from the geomagnetic activity part of it, which is the charged particles, aka plasma, solar wind. That's the same stuff. Okay, remember, solar wind is nothing more than charged gas, because that's what plasma is. They're charged particles following a magnetic connection line from the sun to the earth. They don't vary from that road. The ones that hang close to the middle of the road, it's more dense. The ones that are out, circling, like towards the dishes is what I call it, they move faster. That's your faster solar wind. And so when we got already an uptick in solar wind, which is what we got right here, the current geomagnetic storm we're experiencing is not from a CME. It is from a coronal hole that was Earth facing 3 to 4 days ago. That energy is arriving, and that's what's caused the geomagnetic storm we're in. You can see here the range, 2 to 700 kilometers per second. 700 is about 200 over the high end of normal. Okay, anything above 500, typically we'll see at least an uptick in the geomagnetic activity. The Enlil model. This is the one that gives us 2 days behind us and 5 days out in front. That's a forecast 5 days out, and it shows us what's happened 2 days behind. We're essentially right there in time. Okay, so as you can tell, even this Enlil model was saying that we had higher solar wind. But the trend it's showing here is a drop in wind speed. But it's got a slow increase in density. Now, I'm not sure, we got these CMEs coming, and they could give us a glancing blow. They could hit us right on the head. I don't know yet. The CME tracker has showed a couple of them, and they both look like they could graze us, and even one of them looks like it might hit us right on. So we'll look at that in a minute. But this right here, this red line, we have to pay attention to that too, because that's stereo A. Okay, over here, that's the Earth. That's stereo A. You're looking at a top-down version of our inner solar system. Well, basically just Earth's orbit. That's what that's showing you. So that's stereo A. That's stereo B. Just get that one out of your mind, because we no longer get data from that. I'm not going into that tonight. Long subject. I'm not getting there. But anyway, so this is what we got to look forward to according to this model. Now, I don't trust it out about past here. And I don't even sometimes trust it out that far. Again, this is like our local on the 8s on your weather channel. When this thing gets more data in, it changes. And this will change, I promise. But we need to pay attention to this, because this is a good indication of how powerful things are. Okay, so if we see certain conditions on stereo A, we'll get a good gauge of the stuff that's coming off of the sun that could actually be impacting us at a later day. But you can see how this stuff is happening. This is an uptick because of a CME. Now, when the CMEs blow right in between Earth and stereo A, sometimes they're both impacted. That's how far out that these CMEs spread. It's got 93 million miles to spread out. And it's like buckshot. It's not a pinpoint shot. Okay? Now you can look here, and again, magnometer, obviously magnetics, that thing is going to be moving around. Electron flux. Notice how the bases went up. Why? Well, because now we're getting constant an uptick in electrons, that the base has come up and stayed there. When I showed you guys this model yesterday, it did that. Did you see that? Right at the beginning, we didn't have as much. But as we go in time, watch what happens very quickly. A bunch of electrons, they come, they stay, they're here. So that right there is one of the reasons why you could possibly be feeling a little uptick as far as, if you're actually feeling some electricity, some sort of charge or whatever. More people are sensitive to this than what you think. Now this is going to show you x-rays here where we get hit. It's showing you x-rays, so that's coming from flares or sunspots. You see that little purple pop up? That's the location that it was centered. In other words, this is what was facing the sun at that time. The dark side of the Earth is not going to get the main brunt of an x-ray, because it's coming from the sun. It's facing the other direction. So you see how we're bumping up there? You can see how high it gets over here on this chart. Notice how it goes up to 35. Notice how we're not even getting close to that. They wouldn't put that 35 there if that wasn't possible. So keep that in mind. So those are decent little pops from x-rays, okay? But again, that's x-ray and that's radiation. And the Earth, we absorb it, okay? Our atmosphere does. And it also deflects. So both of that's going on. But whatever don't get deflected or absorbed, it gets absorbed when it gets to us. That's the danger. First look at your sun here. Here's a coronal hole, guys. This one here may be the one. Well, probably not. I guess it could be, because we kind of connect. When this thing was over here, we connected to it. So it's about a 3-day travel to there. So this could be why we're seeing the uptick in the storm we're having now. Now here's your sunspots that we've been talking about, and here's the big one, guys. I'm telling you, in the next couple days, this thing is crusting over. It's already starting to, see? And when this comes Earth facing, this thing is very active, it's very big, and it looks to be blowing stuff that's very powerful. So when it gets in front of us, we're going to have to pay attention close. We're already getting stuff from the sun, but it's coming from this sunspot, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. Okay, let me check on the chat real quick before I move on. Is everybody hearing everything okay? Everything going okay? Hi, Isaiah's granny. Dinah. Hummingbird's still around. Maria. Hey, Craig. What's up, OG? Body and soul. Hey, Carolyn. Tab. What's up? Omni. Allie. Great. Alright, cool. Everybody's good in there. Hey, Barbara. Alright. So this is speed. This is solar wind speed. This is all that this is showing you is the speed of the particles that are traveling. Showing you nothing else. Obviously, it's an uptick. We're getting constant wind right now. That's why we've seen over here on this line stay really straight. It's not fluctuating very much. It went up to a certain level and it's kind of stayed there. And we see that often when we're talking about coronal hole stuff causing it. So, there's that speed part of it. But then we talk about the density. I'm telling you guys, this density, in my opinion, actually will cause more issues than the speed of the particles. And there's been some studies and stuff lately coming out on that are kind of agreeing with that. I've been saying it for like 2 years now since I've started my channel. Because we'll see hits without an increase in speed. What causes that? Well, that would be density, because it's heavier material. There's more of it. So when you're looking at the blue, that's more dense. The white is less dense. Now here's the one everybody really wants to see, and it's the pressure. Now I know you guys are looking at that, and it looks all kinds of crazy. And yes, it is an uptick. Okay, that's high pressure, guys. I've been on here and looked, and the whole thing was blue. There wasn't nothing on the screen but our planet. Like no pressure. And that's bad too, because we're still pushing out, even if we're not getting pressure. We want to be in the middle of that, because when that stuff's happening, it could cause earthquakes. And the same thing with this. When we're getting squished like an egg, same situation. What do I mean by egg? Look right here. See how that's egg shaped? That's what I'm talking about. We're getting pushed from the front and the back at the same time, and we're getting crushed. Kind of crunching us together, which will move stuff. Now yesterday when I showed you this red was actually about halfway into our planet. So that right there could be impacting, could be some of that pressure could be making it through. I don't know. I don't know exactly where the surface of the Earth is, if it's this outer line or if that's like a satellite line. I'm not really sure. But this one in the middle is just simply showing you the light side and the dark side. Basically, it's telling you the sun's off to the left. Now, on this pressure map, we don't often see those waves coming in there. We see them sometimes, but not like we see them up here. Okay? We see the stuff moving like this over here. You're not going to see it that often like that down here on the pressure, but we are. So, we got to pay attention to earthquakes, is what I'm saying. Now again, this isn't what causes the earthquakes. It's just part of the formula. That's it. Sometimes it's the last piece of it that causes stuff to pop off, but other times it's just part of it. So this is the Australian magnetopause model, the simple one, and that's why I like it. You see how the bow shock, look how close it's getting to the satellite line. It's probably getting in there every once in a while. And I like this graph too because it gives us an image every minute. You don't get that very often on a lot of these models. Also notice the speed. It's staying right around 600, a little bit more. And then whenever you see this thing kind of jump around, either the speed's spiking or the density here is going up. Also, the BZ is in the negative, which is actually drawing stuff into our planet. The angle that it's hitting our planet is favorable to let that stuff come in. This is the 23rd. We're going to get about an hour or two here. So this is still ongoing. Now what I do want to point out before we move any further is the fact that it is tailing off. Okay, you see that? So in other words, Earth's able to handle it now, and it's deflecting the majority of this. We only got in the storm level for a short period of time, but I think we're going to be bumping up, and I'll show you why. Okay, here's seeds. This is the 21st. I already showed you guys this yesterday, or this morning. That was the CME starting. You're seeing this other stuff blow out too, right? So let's go to the 22nd. You guys see that? Okay, you see that big flash? Right? There? Okay? We see that same flash on stereo A, which is millions of miles away from this satellite. This point of view is right out in front of the Earth. The satellite's a million miles closer to the sun than what we are. But it sets between us and the sun. Okay? So anything behind this black occulter, we don't know. We can't see it. So if it's coming right at us, we won't be able to see that energy. Not from this point of view. So what do? We go over to stereo A and we look at it from the side. Okay? Here, the satellite's here and the Earth is over here. What's over here? Look at this. That's that CME blowing off. So we know that on stereo A from the side, it's moving to the right. On LASCO C2 from SOHO, right in our view, it's going to the left, which means that it's most likely coming right at us. Remember, on these two-dimensional models, we can't tell if it's going back, forward, angled, whatever. We can't tell that because it's two-dimensional. That's why we have to look at both. So when this one shows it to the left, and stereo A shows it going to the right, that means that it's most likely coming at us. And this angle down, now, you know, a year ago or two, the Earth would have been here and stereo A would have been down here. The angle would be closer to 90 degrees. Not exactly 90, but it would be closer. Stereo A is creeping towards us. So that angle now is only about like this. That's why it's important to know that, because the Earth is no longer here from its view. It's actually down here. Okay? So that CME I do think is going to impact us, so let me show you this. This is a CME tracker. What are we looking at there? Well, we're looking at a CME that this model is saying is going to hit us. Okay? That's that second CME. Here's stereo A, here's the Earth. On the top-down view, it shows it hitting us, right? On the side view, it shows it hitting us. Now, you see it kind of like it break off a little bit and kind of get two little smacks. That's part of the wake, and it's part of the natural curve of what we're doing, okay? But the top-down, the side view shows it hitting us. Now, the other view we need is a depth view, which is what this is. This is our orbital line around the sun stretched out in a straight line instead of a circle. What we look for is the distortion in the picture, in the image. Where's that distortion at? Right over top of Earth. Okay? Now, the center of it looks like it might be here. But we're still getting that distortion, which means this thing is going to hit us. Maybe not right on. Yeah, Bruce, I've been noticing that too, up here. You see that? That's so low. That's not SOHO, it's so low. It's a different satellite. I'll show you where it's at. It's over here. Okay? I don't know why on this one it's disappearing. It was doing this the other day too. I don't know if it's a model issue or what. The first time it did it, a CME hit it right before, and it disappeared right after. Well, CME isn't hitting it this time, so I don't know why this model's showing that thing disappearing. I don't know what that is. So, but yeah, so that's this right here is what we look at to really get a good gauge on if it's really going to hit us. And this is confirmation of that it probably is. Now, how powerful it is, I can't tell you. We're not going to know until it gets here. Now, if you look at this, it doesn't look like the majority of the strength of it is over top of us. But again, this thing is, you know, it's a model. It's not exactly 100% perfectly correct. So we are seeing more grays and whites, which is not what we really want to see. That means it's more intense. But, okay, but that's the second one. the first one happened before, and I showed you guys that earlier today. So we're getting back to back. Because if you look at the timestamp, this one reset on the 22nd. The one I showed you this morning happened on the 21st. So this is the second one. So we got one coming most likely tomorrow or the next day, and then the day after or 2 days after that, depending on how fast these things are moving. Now, they both could still miss Earth. I've seen these things show us getting hit right on the face and completely miss. But until they change it, the only thing we can do is assume that it's going to hit us. It's better to do that than to think it's not, and then it does. Now, again, what can we expect? Well, we can expect some stuff, but let me take you over here first, because I want to show you guys the CMEs themselves. Actually, I'm not going to use that one this time. Let me go down. Yeah, well, I'm just going to X out of all this, and I'll show you guys SDO. This is Stereo A, guys, and LASCO C2, but this is over here on ISWA. It's a different website. That's why we don't get the black and white imaging. It's the same data and coming from the same place. It's just it doesn't give us the same look. It doesn't use the black and white model. Now, Stereo A, remember, it's over here. So the Earth is kind of here. See that CME right there? Boom. Now I know I seen some this thing here too. Let me show this to you. Let me get back to it. There it was. I think I seen some videos on this, or somebody was making some videos on this, showing this. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I don't think it's anything that big of a deal. And why do I say that? Because we don't know how far away from the satellite this thing is. Okay? So it would be irresponsible to claim that that's something when we don't even know the depth of it. We don't know how far away it is from the satellite, and we can't know. If that thing was as big as what I've heard other people say that it is, it would show up over here too, and it's not. So that's what I would say. You know, at least you would think it would. I guess it could possible it couldn't, but depending on the angle of it. But guys, I mean, remember, this is a time lapse. This is one image. It gives us one image every 15 minutes. Okay? Now, think about this for a second, guys. If this thing was like out by the sun, do you think it would really go off of view in 15 minutes? It won't. Okay? It just wouldn't. It would still be there. So what I'm saying is that we can't take this one capture here and just blow it way out of proportion. Now, I'm not saying it ain't a meteorite or something like that going in front of the camera. Personally, what it looks like to me, because you can't see any kind of directional travel of this. You don't see any kind of tail on it. Nothing. It looks like a flash of light into the camera. My opinion. That's it. That's all that is. Okay? I can't confirm any of that. But what I will say is that's what it looks like to me. My opinion. You guys do with that what you want. You know, we've seen stuff on these things before, absolutely. But this right here, this one here just doesn't seem like it's much to me. I mean, because you would see movement if it was really moving that fast to get out of the frame in 15 minutes. Okay? So, that's why I say all that. Hopefully you guys understand that. Hey, Rebel, what's up? Knowledge, what's up? Julie, Hummingbird. Sorry, I said hi to you, Hummingbird. Hey, Bronx, you keeping it down in there, man? Girl, sorry. Boogie down Bronx, Angel. There you go. Robert, what's up? Hey, Hilly, what's up? Jerry, Face the Sky. Good to see everybody. So, yeah. But again, I say that just because I don't want, you know, my listeners or whatever to go look at something else. And if somebody's going to say that this is like a big, huge planetary body or something, that could scare somebody, like really, really bad, if it was that close. And if it wasn't that close, it would be really, really big. I'm talking like huge. But I'm just saying, you just don't see any movement there. So, you know, and let me, you know, I just don't, I don't know what to say else on that. I'm just going to move on. But, yeah. Okay. Here's a geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grid. Hey, Monica. Yeah, I'm going to go over remarks after this, guys, so please hang out, if you could. I'd like everybody to go over there and hang out for a few minutes. Hey, Judith, what's up? Glad you stopped in. And again, guys, you know, Body and Soul and others that have donated, guys. Hey, yeah, Aunt Judy, maybe, I don't know. What's up, Axe? Thank you guys so much for, you know, donating, guys. I really do appreciate it. That's, I really do. There's my PayPal link. And I do. I really do. I so much appreciate it. It's helping me right now more than you guys could ever know. So, thank you. And let's move on. Okay. Remember I said this turned into a sunspot? It did. And this is hanging in there too. But check out these aurora. This is what happens, okay, when we get those storms. Pretty cool, huh? Hilly liked this pic, so did I. This is that comet, guys, that they found back in September. And it's going to be, you know, it would be visible with our naked eye, but it's the time frame that it's supposed to be. The sun's it's gonna be next to the sun, and we won't be able to see it because the sun's gonna drown it out. And you know, people with solar filters and stuff will probably be able to pick this up. But this was done in somebody's backyard. Yeah, water is a good insulator. Face the sky. You say that's exactly right. Water is one of the things that they actually take in consideration when they're going to try to get our astronauts to Mars. It blocks radiation, absorbs it, so that it's a really good thing. Okay, so earthquakes. Oh wow, check that out, guys. Look. Wow, that is an odd one, boys. Let me tell you. A 4.9? Are you kidding me? Up that far? Wow. That happened a half hour ago, guys. Wow. So, yeah. Look at that. Holy cow. I ain't trying to blow it out of proportion. It's just I was kind of shocked to see that there. Oh, check this out. And we got another one in here. That's a 5. Now, guys, come on. Tell me that ain't related. Okay, let me explain what I'm saying here. That's virtually on the same longitude line. Okay, we've had earthquakes down here. We had a 6.2 yesterday. But this is further inland. This is further away. So that energy's traveling that way is what that looks like. We've been seeing, you know, stuff going on in here too. But this up here, that's kind of strange. I'd like to know people's opinion on that one. That's kind of nuts. I know we get them up there once in a while, but not very often. And not a 4.9. That's like on the North Pole, guys. Let's look at the Canadian. Did that one update yet? Is that it right there? No, that happened back on the 3rd. See how odd that is to see one here? And that one was a 4. So yeah, I mean, I know we get some in here, but my gosh, that was a yeah, huh? And then to have one down, you know, in the southern hemisphere at the same time, it's kind of hard to say that that's not related. you know? Huh. You guys okay in there? Hopefully you guys are. You know, you guys can, yeah, I think you guys are being respectful. At least I think. You guys can disagree, that's cool. That is actually good conversation, discord. Iron sharpens iron, guys. Okay? So, you know, we're allowed to have different opinions, and it looks like you guys are doing okay in there. Just, yeah, I would caution just to kind of not get too crazy with it, because people can get kind of personal real quick, like. So, yeah. You know, and again, I think all of us kind of respect each other enough to allow us to have our own opinions. You know what I mean? And I got the best mods and the best subs in the world because you guys do great. You really do. You really do. I'm so glad you guys are able to let people have different opinions because that's really what I want. You know, let me tell you something like this too. You know where the truth's going to be found? It's going to be found at the spot where all of our theories and all of our thoughts overlap. Okay? In other words, I'm not going to be 100% right. You're not going to be 100% right. The person to our left ain't going to be 100% right. But things that we say that overlap each other and are saying the same things in specific parts of it, that's where the truth is at. Okay? I don't know, but yeah. Oh, excuse me. Wow. So, let's keep on moving. Let's go to SDO because I want to show you guys those CMEs, and they're right in the front. Okay, so we're going to see the CMEs pop off here, but this sunspot over here is really active, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, I'll tell you when this happens. Let it cycle through, and we'll see what happens here. Cause there went one of them. Do you see that? That blast right there. And I showed that to you guys the other day. And then that one. Do you see that one? That one fired off. And there's another little one right there. So, but if you look over here, look at the sunspot that's getting ready to crest over. Look what's going on over here, guys. This thing is big. You know, we haven't seen one like this in a while. There's another CME right there. But anyway. See all this stuff going on? I mean, look at that thing. It is not stopping. It is continually doing something. Okay? And, you know, like I said, that can mean a whole lot of different things, but this means we got to keep an eye on it. Okay? But what I want to show you guys here before we get off the SDO site, there was a CME right there. See how it's right in front of us? Okay, because we're looking at the sun from our point of view. And the reason why the X-rays has went up is because this is still kind of on the Earth-facing side. This one definitely is, and this one's coming onto the Earth-facing side. So all that combined is going to raise our base X-ray level. But I'm looking at this, and this sunspot grouping here looks like it might be starting to stabilize and even kind of deteriorate. So we'll have to watch it as it goes across. See how bright that one is over here, though? Okay. Now, let me get the chat back up here real quick. Alright. Now, let's what I want to do here, guys, is give you guys an idea of what we can expect, okay, as the sun starts ramping up. Now, when I show you guys this, just keep in mind that this is what we consider normal. Okay, actually, I'm going to take you to 09, let's go, what, 08, how about that? The 8th of September 2014 to the 11th of September 2014, and let's take a look at it there. Check this out. Okay, so that was 6 years ago. Do you guys see all the CMEs, all of the flaring, all over the sun, all the sunspots? This is what we're ramping up to. Okay? So, I say all this just to make you guys understand, or help you guys understand, that when we start seeing this activity increase, it's not necessarily something that is out of the norm. Now, we're upticking really, really fast. That's what I'll say. Now, you see that little shake? That's some of that solar wind hitting the satellite. We see that sometimes ourselves now. But we're going to have this stuff every day. What I'm talking about right now, we're going to have every day. So this is 2014. Fast forward 6 years, that puts us where we're at now. So here in about 3 years, we can expect a sun that looks like this, if not more. So why is it a bigger deal this sun cycle? Well, let me explain, because there is an explanation for that. And that would be, if you look here, okay, we're ramping up like 14% increase in activity already from last year's record-breaking year to this year's activity so far. The last sun cycle was only a 2% increase from year to year. But why it's important to know that is our electromagnetic field is weaker. So that sun I just showed you guys back in 2014 did not affect the Earth like this same sun would affect us right now, because our magnetic field is not as strong. So it's not going to take as much to give us issues. We're going to start seeing geomagnetic storms multiple times a week. And again, that's not really that far out of the norm. It's just we got to pay attention to the big ones. That's what we have to pay attention to. And when I say big, it doesn't have to be as big as what it was last time, because our magnetic field is weaker. Okay? So hopefully you guys understand that. I'm sure you do. That's a really good visual way to explain that to somebody. So if you guys ever want to do that for one of your friends, or do it on your channel or whatever, that's a good way to do it. Show them the one from this year. See that? And then show them the one I just showed you. It's an immediate, like, bam, I understand. Yeah, Marie, I don't know what's in, guys, listen, as far as science is concerned, they can't see any further than about 20% into the sun. They don't know they have theories, but they don't know. I mean, I hear them oftentimes say that there's light and stuff that's been bouncing around inside the sun for like hundreds of thousands of years or something crazy like that. So that's what they say. That's the science. That's what science is saying. I'm not saying that's what it is, because obviously none of us are going to be able to know. We can have our opinions, and yes, we can have proof for our opinions, but at the end of the day, it's still our opinion. You see what I'm getting at? And that's why I don't, I say this a lot. I don't come on here and speak in complete, definite terms because, you know, I'm wrong sometimes. Everybody is. So to just completely just say that something's 100% true, and even though I can show it, you know, have some evidence to back up my point, even at that, sometimes the evidence could be wrong. Sometimes this could happen. People can just be wrong is what I'm saying. Science can be wrong. Science is wrong a lot. We are wrong a lot. I mean, but what we're doing is, what's important here is that we're talking about it and our focus is on stuff like this. So we're aware. That's the biggest thing we get from this stuff, guys. We're aware that things are changing. We're aware that stuff is actually happening. And we're aware of our weak spots, which is our electromagnetic field is weaker. It's very important to know that. So that's what I would say, you know. I encourage all points of view. I encourage everything like that because I'm telling you, when I first started doing this, I didn't have the same viewpoint as I got now. You know, it would be ridiculous for me to sit here and even try to claim something like that after I've seen certain things that I thought was not possible. You know what I mean? But I do, you know, I have my strong opinions just like everybody else does. And, you know, I try to keep people's, you know, anxiety level down by saying, which is what is true, that most of this stuff that we're seeing is a natural uptick, but the difference is our magnetic field is weaker. That's why this is really such a big deal. And not to mention that if we do, even if our magnetic field was stronger, you know, if you go back and you look and you map out when the big solar events were, we're due for one. Okay? I'll just put it to you that way. I don't like to say that because it does entice fear sometimes. It's not my intent. But, you know, just know that we're overdue for one of those types of events. We're talking global events, guys. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, there is lots of radiation hitting the Earth right now. Hey, guys, you know, there's a place you can look for that. Let me show it to you. Go over here to ISWA. Go to the Magnetosphere tab. Go to page subtab 4. And you get these. These are our Van Allen belts. The radiation belts. Okay? So I'm going to back up and I'll go to the 50 one. This is essentially just showing you radiation. So I'll pause it. I'll put in a little, I'll back, well, what the heck? Is that thing even, guys, it's not even, we can't even look at that. Look at that. It hasn't updated since the 31st of October. It's ridiculous, man. That kind of crap just makes me mad. Yeah, so we can't even look at that right now. Wow. Okay. Guess I won't show that to you. Sorry. But, CME right here, guys. That's kind of the main name of the game right now. Does anybody got any questions for me? Anybody got any questions? Oh shoot, Mark's doing Hammerlin. Awesome. Exposure levels, you know, it's you know, we can get stuff, you know. Sechi, yeah, that's a suite of cameras on one of the satellites. I don't know, Todd. I really don't. You know, I'm not really. I know that those things are real, but I'm not sure if it's got that in it. At least my opinion is it's real. Sechi, yeah. Guys, I just showed you some of the Sechi tools. You know, we could go over to one of the other sites, but there's a time delay. There's a 3-day lag on most of that stuff. That's why I don't show it much anymore. That, and there's so many anomalies on that thing that people want to argue about that I just steer away from it, because I don't want to get in that conversation anymore, because it doesn't do any good. People have too polarized of an opinion on that stuff, and it really does. It really gets people in a bad, mad place, and I'm not going there. At least on that one. I'm still showing you the same kinds of camera stuff, just not on that site. Hey, you hang in there, Monica. You hang in there, girl. Okay. Hey, listen to Mark here.
That's right, everybody. Look,
oh, let me unmute.
I've been live with you on the Real Talk program for the last 74 days. That's because that's how many days I've been back on the wagon. That's right, I'm drinking again. It's been my favorite pastime for the last 76 years, and now I'm finally bringing it back into the public eye. It was 96. I was working for NBC at the time, and I had a bit of a problem drinking my Jameson, and they came to me in between spots. They said, "Old Hammer Jam, what do you think of that?"
Guys, he kills me. This is why I want you guys to come over here with me. I'm serious. I mean, come on, let's go over here. All of us. I'm serious. Anybody that's in my thing right here, I would really appreciate if you just stepped over there at least for 5 or 10 minutes. And, you know, let's show him some love. Let's laugh together. I'm going to be in the chat, okay? Just know that. Let me unmute him here.
You can come on and do a show. You can do your Hammer Jam special. Come on out and drop the hammer and rip the lid off the fake news. So, look, I'm putting too early because of a Jameson addiction. And, look, bottom line, I promise.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on? Oh, man. Yeah, he's doing Hammer Jam right now, guys. So, yeah. Hey, love back at you, Monica. You know, prayers for Monica. She's going through stuff like that. Guys, I'm gonna say something here real quick too. You guys remember Teresa that was in the chat all the time, right? She was in hospice. Guys, I haven't heard from her in like a couple weeks. And it's really got me, yeah, it's kind of got me upset. You know, I don't know what to think. I'm really kind of stressing out about it a little bit, because people are in hospice and then you lose contact with them, and you just, yeah. She's such a good woman, and it just, yeah. Yeah, add Monica to the prayer list there, Hilly. Yeah, you asked about J-Man. He's around. I talked to him yesterday. He's doing pretty good. You guys got him over that 1,000 mark, so he's able to monetize his channel. So thank you for that. But everybody, let's go over here. Hang out with Mark. Here's his link. We're going to go over here and show him some Wages Family love, and we're going to go over here and hang out with each other, show each other some love. And yeah, guys, I seen the chat. You guys were having some you know, disagreements and stuff in there. But I think you guys handled that well. I really do. That's what I want, okay? So please just kind of keep it that way. You guys are great. The subs, the mods, you guys are all handling that well. Especially on subjects that are really, really polarizing. So, yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to go over there. Hope everybody else does too. Check it out. Here.
Holy cow, what is that going on over there? What is that? Wow, did you guys see that? Did Hammerland come over and take over the show for a little bit?
Guys, Hammerland is one of my favorite characters he goes into. Cracks me up. All right, guys. Hey, Aaron, you're good, dude. Seriously. Hey, you know, and I thank the mods for doing the right things too in here. You guys were letting each other talk. I thought that was awesome. I really did. And I getting, you know, passionate about stuff. But you guys really kept it good. I appreciate it. I really do. So, thank you guys, and let's go over here and check him out. Oh yeah, my wife wanted me to mention her eBay site too. I forgot about that. Daggone it. Let me. She sells Santa hats, guys, and masks and stuff. She's a really good seamstress. Let me see if here it is. So, just go check, if you could, just go check her out. It would be appreciated. You ain't got to buy nothing or nothing. Just check it out. See what you got. She's got a store over on eBay. And if you guys do decide you want to get something over there, drop it in there. Say, hey, I come from Wages World. Okay? So thank you guys. And I'll see you guys over at Mark's. God bless. Yahusha saves. And you can drink this Kool-Aid.